Hello everybody, welcome to Rob's Gaming Table. I'm Rob, and today I'm finally, after like a week, going to read through the Frosthaven rulebook. I'm going to read through it right now live. I have not read it yet. I've been saving it. A little behind the scenes, this came out last week. I think it was released in a Kickstarter update. You can find the link for this rulebook. It's not complete, but it's basically but right before they're sending it to printing. So they shared a copy of this in a Kickstarter update. I saw it, but instead of jumping on it, doing the YouTube creator thing, trying to be first and talk about the rules, oh my god, I was in the middle of like learning two different games and relearning a game and reading rule books and stuff, and all of them were pretty complex games that I didn't really want to try to in the same day I'm reading one 60-page rulebook. I didn't want to try to read the new Frosthaven rulebook, which is a game that's not even out yet. It doesn't come out for months, if not longer. So yeah, I want to know what's different. I want to read what's different. I want to read through this. And some people are saying you should just read it live instead of, read it behind the scenes and then try to make a video about what's different and stuff. People have already done that. So if you're looking for that kind of thing, that is out there on the YouTubes, out there on the internet. Someone on BGG made a cool little graphic we'll go over today, a little table of what's different in each of the three Haven games. So we can look at that after we read through the rules. Hopefully I have enough time here. We have another stream later today around 1 o'clock playing Gloomhaven Digital, as we do weekly on Fridays. And I was sitting down this morning, I grabbed my first coffee, and I was like, today's the day. I'm going to read this Frosthaven rulebook. Should I still do it live, or is it like too late? It's been a week, man. That's like forever. So I thought, nah, I'll just schedule a last-minute stream and we'll read it live. So good morning. I don't have my full amount of caffeine in me yet, so I'm going to work on that during the stream. I'm assuming this will take an hour to two. We'll see. But yeah, we're just going to read through it live. We can discuss it with the chat, of course. Doing this live is kind of fun. So if you already know it, what's different stuff, we'll discuss fully what's different at the end. I want to read through certain sections at least. So if you want to see me stumble over reading words or read along with me, if you've never even looked at the Frosthaven rulebook, perfect. We're going to go through it together, discuss what's in there, discuss my feelings on it, whatever. But I'm just here to gather information from the rulebook and I guess you guys. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. So this may be a boring stream for some, so you can go now if you're like, man, I want to watch this idiot read the rule book. But this is what I do. This is like, I feel like 90% of my job is reading rule books, and like 10% is creating streams and streaming. But yeah, here we are. Let's read. Juan's here, says, found it much improved versus Gloomhaven's. Good. Good. I saw in the Kickstarter update they were saying last week that there was a couple days you had, if people found anything or had any issues, to send it to them quick so they could like adjust it before it went to the printer or whatever. But that time has passed, so there may be things in here that have already been fixed or changed and stuff and clarified. But this is the file that I found in the Kickstarter update, so we're reading this. I couldn't find a newer one, so I'm just assuming this is it. So yeah, welcome everybody. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you, of course, to our YouTube members and our Patreons for supporting the channel. You see their names scrolling on the screen. They are awesome. Thank you for your support. I see Janet snuck in. I tried to avoid the West Coast by doing a morning stream, but obviously that didn't work. So, damn it. And the damn YouTube notifications went out, so people showed up. I was trying to do a last-minute stream. Damn it. I was hoping nobody would show up and I could just read this by myself in peace and quiet and enjoy my coffee. Damn it. All these people showed up. Like people looking in my window while I'm trying to read a rule book here. What's going on? Just kidding. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. All right. So let's have some fun. Let's have some fun reading a rule book, because that's the most exciting thing I do. Anyways. All right. Oh, yeah, Brian. Hello. Yeah. Damn West Coasters. All right. So yeah, let's get to it. We got the Frosthaven rulebook here, and like I said, I have this little graphic that I found on BGG, which I should link below. I linked the rulebook below, but I didn't link this. But you can find it in the file section on Board Game Geek. I'll link it. You know what? I'm gonna do it right now. I want to be people be able to bring it up and just have it if you want to look at it. Take 2 seconds. Sorry, guys. Why am I not as prepared? I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter. I spent hours preparing for a stream in the morning, and I'll still miss stuff. So it's live streaming world. Never perfect. All right, copy link address. All right, I'm gonna add it into the video description. Um, EGG file comparing Haven games. I don't know what to call it. Okay. And save. Okay, so if you refresh the stream, if you're watching live or you're watching this later, just check the video description down below, expand it, click the see more button or whatever, and you should see the file links to the rulebook in there and this differences thing, which we'll go over later, which I have not read through the differences. Like I literally like treat it kind of like spoilers because I didn't want the information overload as I was trying to learn other games this week. So yeah, so it's kind of a good time because I'm about to start reading another like rulebook tonight / tomorrow. So try to learn another game, maybe 2 this weekend. We'll see. But yeah, so I didn't need so I can gather this info now, read it, and then just kind of dump it till the game shows up. That's my idea. I can only hold so many epic game rulebooks in my head at once, kind of thing. Okay, so yeah, Frosthaven rulebook. So I know that somebody was telling me that they've marked the sections in here that are new to players who've already played Gloomhaven. If Frosthaven's your first game, that is cool. That is cool. If people, I know people who said they were going to skip Gloomhaven, they got it, or they couldn't get it, or they couldn't get a group together to play it, or their group broke up because of COVID. And some people were like, 10% into Gloomhaven, haven't even finished punching out cardboard, stuff like that. And some people just said they're going to not even start Gloomhaven. They were like going to back Frosthaven at the time. Everyone thought you had a year to play it before it came out. Here it's not even out yet. And yeah, it's been 2 full years. And so it's going to be like probably 2 years and a bit, 2.5 years, whatever, before most people even dive into this with a group. So you had plenty of time to play Gloomhaven, fun enough. But yeah, some people are starting with this as their first game. So when I'm talking about the comparison to Gloomhaven, Gloomhaven's like the #1 board game on BoardGameGeek.com, the largest board game data website, whatever, on the internet. So it's a big deal, but there's going to be a point where, like, I already say you should play Gloomhaven's Jaws of the Lion first because it's got a great tutorial system. It's not as epic in scope. It's, a cheaper entry to try out the Gloomhaven on your tabletop to see if you even like Gloomhaven and the play loop that it involves. But now there's going to be Frosthaven soon, and this game's going to be an option. So people are going to be asking, and not to mention Gloomhaven Digital and eventually Jaws of the Lion as DLC in that. And I'm assuming eventually Frosthaven Digital would be a thing. So there's going to be many options for people to dive into this Gloomhaven world. It is not for everybody, but I'm sure it's going to be interesting when some people are like, this is their first rule book of Gloomhaven ish, like a Haven game, I will call it, that they're going to be reading. So I'll be going at it from, I've played hundreds and hundreds of hours of Gloomhaven / Gloomhaven Digital, played whatever, how many hours it took us to play through Jaws and the Lion. Most of those plays of this game are on our channel. I have linked that stuff in the video description. So if you're looking for us playing Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion, Gloomhaven Digital, all that stuff's linked down below. But stay tuned to the channel, hit subscribe. We will be playing Frosthaven. I backed it on Kickstarter with my own money, and I will be playing that later. Mel and I will at least be playing 2-player. Maybe we'll rope in Kyle on that, or maybe Justin, will be able to come and play with us again like he did in the Gloomhaven and Jaws of the Lion series. And maybe we can play some multiplayer playthroughs on the stream and have some fun live with you guys every week. So I'm super excited for this game. This game alone, just knowing this is on its way, has stopped me from backing other Kickstarters. It's like an easy thing. I can just look at my log of Kickstarters to deliver, and this is one of them. And I know the time commitment this takes, not just to learn it and play it, but also, stream it and prepare streams for it and stuff. So yeah, so I know this is going to be, once this arrives, like, yeah, this is going to be like our main game for I don't know how long. I want to play through the whole thing on stream. Assuming people are watching, we'll keep playing it live. So subscribe, stick around. There's Frosthaven, onslaught coming to the channel here of content. But anyways, at some point when it shows up, I've been saying that for like 2 years. But yeah, anyways, all right. Table of contents. Okay, so I'm just going to skip through this. We're just going to go through it and check it out here. So we'll find out any differences. I know there's like a building a city, you're defending your city, all this like between the dungeon crawling stuff, kind of like Sword and Sorcery did for their second wave of content, their second saga. They added like a journey mechanic, like little city maps and stuff you do between, and a timing mechanic where you spend time to visit places in the city between playthroughs. I like that. I thought it was really neat. And it's cool that like Gloomhaven's taking the same approach that some other games have already done, of doing that whole like after you play a game of Gloomhaven, doing some dungeon crawling, boss fighting, all that stuff. You kind of sit with your group and you play a little legacy, put some stickers on things and upgrade stuff. That's my understanding of what they were doing back when the Kickstarter was announced. And we'll see how they kind of go forward with it here. That's what I'm most excited to learn about. All right, so let's take a closer look at the components of the character. Once you've decided which character class you'd like to play, find the small tuck box, large tuck box for that class, open them up. Inside the tuck box, you'll find a plastic miniature, which is used to represent your character in every scenario. Note, the Geminate has 2 small tuck boxes because they have 2 separate forms. Okay, already, I'm sold. I'm buying 2 copies. All right. Inside the large tuck box, you'll find several things. Your character sheet looks pretty similar. Although, what's this little resources? Is that for like the crafting? We'll find out. Stay tuned. Rob has no idea, and you guys are probably like, duh. But yeah, I haven't been following any really the Kickstarter updates or anything. Just I look and see when they announce like a new date. When is the game coming? I look for that, and then I close the update. I like don't usually want to know any of the new characters, none of the new cards. I'll take that information in when I have it on my table, you know. Okay, start with 30 gold. Okay, character mat. I'm gonna skip over some stuff that's like, you know, you guys can see it on the screen and read it, but I need to look for the goodies, and I only have like an hour and a half to 2 hours, so yeah, I don't want to get to the juicy stuff. So character mat stays in front of you. Your hand size is there, hit points, traits. Okay, you have traits. Interesting. Character standee, summon standees. Okay. Character tokens. Yeah. Track various abilities belonging to your character. Okay. Initiative order token. This thing wasn't in the original game, right? This was a Jaws of the Lion thing when they added that, I'm pretty sure. The little nameplates. I like that. Yeah, summon standee is way better than having like the tokens, those like weird summons tokens they had in the first one. I don't know what that was all about. All right. 30 gold to spend on items to start with. Items provide you extra bonuses and abilities for your character. You can purchase any of the items available in the purchase supply. Items 120 to 128. Only 8 items? Come on. Just joking. If you own Gloomhaven, okay, so if you don't own Gloomhaven, you can buy Gloomhaven so you can use a handful of items in the game too. That's a pricey expansion. No, I'm just joking. But if you own Gloomhaven, you can also purchase any of the following items from Gloomhaven items. So whatever 10, 25, 72, 105, 109, and 116 are, which we can look that up if we have time later. But quick Google, you can find like that the thing we were looking at items when we play Gloomhaven Digital. Sometimes you get an item in the scenario and you have no idea what it is. So we like look it up, but I don't know if you can search via item number. Be sure to adjust the gold total on your character sheet as you spend gold on items. Don't be a cheaty McCheaterson. If you're not sure what to purchase, here are some suggested purchases for each starting class. I like this a lot. I like this. Just less brain burn for new players, right? Just give them, here, buy this stuff if you're not sure how the game really works yet and you're learning it. Like, set up your character to try the game out. Winged shoes. Yes, please. Love winged shoes. Okay, well, we don't know what those items are, but that's cool. Banner Spear, Drifter, Bone Shaper, Deathwalker, Blink Blade, and Geminate. Okay, cool. Can't wait to just get this game and crack it open and start reading these things and picking my first character and stressing out. I don't know if we'll do a poll for that to pick our first characters. You know, supporters of the channel can kind of choose that, or I don't know. Or maybe we got to do a research, find out which 2 classes are good for just 2-player games, because like that's how we kind of treated the first. That's how we treat most campaign games, actually. With Mel and I, my wife will play 2-player to start, but sometimes we have other players join us throughout, and you know, they can pick from the leftover, but we want to make sure we have 2 solid characters that are like good together, not like two support classes, you know, and just get like ripped apart. So you need like a solid foundation to get started is how I look at it. I don't know if they fix this where all these are pretty solid and the scaling of the game and stuff works good. So even, you know, 2-player, you're fine picking any two. But the first one wasn't balanced enough to do that, I don't think. So at least not in our experience. And most people that were telling us this stuff, most people online will say that. I don't think it was very balanced, the first 6 starting class. But if you played 4-player, you know, it's like easier. You can mix in whoever, and it doesn't matter. Roll the d6. Yeah, Dragon. I'm going to look into it first before I pick my characters, because it'll suck, you know, like, there's no fail forward, right? I don't think in this game. Maybe there is, but, you know, when you're streaming a game to, like, replay the same scenario more than a couple times, you know, viewers just get bored and they don't want to watch, so it's like also you have to think of entertainment purpose and my sanity. Playing the same scenario over and over again, yeah, that's the definition of not fun in most cases. All right. Well, at least with me. With your characters created, it's time to tackle the rules. If you prefer not to read the rule book and instead watch a video, you can find one here. I bet it's not ready yet. The rules are broken up into 2 main sections. Hopefully they get Rodney for that. That would be awesome. Someone entertaining would be good. Someone new player, you know, it would be good. Everyone loves Rodney. Fellow Canadian would be great. But we'll see. We'll see how much money they're shelling out for that. All right. The rules are broken up into 2 main sections. Rules for playing through a scenario and rules for what you can do between scenarios. Okay. To start with, you'll need to familiarize yourself with the scenario rules, though you can skip over the following sections. Road events. These will not occur at the start of the first scenario. And scenario level. This will be set to 1 for the first few scenarios, so you don't need to read how the scenario level works because I like that. Tell you just skip it for now, you're good. All right. Oh, here we go. If you're already experienced with the Gloomhaven system, you can look through the scenario phase section and read only the parts in blue, like this one, which will isolate the scenario rules that are exclusive to Frosthaven. If you're only familiar with Jaws the Lion, it is recommended that you read through the entire rulebook before you begin. Yeah, see that? Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I like that. And if I'm assuming they should say if you're familiar with none, read the whole thing also. But yeah, that's good. Once you're familiar with the scenario rules, feel free to jump into your first scenario by following the instructions of the Adventure Begins section on page 49. If you're completely new to the Gloomhaven system, it is not only recommended that you read... There we go. This is what I was saying they should have. It is not only recommended you read through the entire rulebook, but also that you start the game with scenario 0. So they have a tutorial scenario? Oh, I like it. I like it. That's good. Good for them. Good for them. Yeah, break down the walls, man. Open the gateway. Let people in easier. I love it. If you're ever unsure about something and need to find it again in the rulebook, there's an index. An index. So it maybe isn't a real index. It's in quotes. So it's like their idea of an index. I don't know. On page 80, it will help with that as well as important reminders section. I'm just joking. On page 76 for commonly overlooked rules. Okay. I love this kind of stuff too. Commonly overlooked rules, like basically rules that are weird in your game that aren't in 90% of similar games, you know? I love that kind of stuff. It helps me when I like pull a game out after months and playing like many other games, similar games even, put it on the table, and then I kind of read that little section on the back or whatever, and it's like, oh yeah, this is the game that does this weird thing, and oh yeah, we can forget this. Like, yeah, we got to remember that. I like that. I like that a lot. Christajan, hello. I'm kicking myself so hard for not kickstarting Frosthaven. I found one retailer in Slovenia that's close to me who accepts pre-orders. We'll be contacting them to find out the details. Yeah, make sure they're not just taking pre-orders and can't secure the game yet. Like, make sure they know they're allowed to get a certain amount of copy. Some places will take pre-orders and they haven't even put in their order with distribution yet to know like how many are even going to that country, how many are allocated for them and stuff like that. So if they have like no pre-orders yet, you might be safe putting one in because you know the store should be able to get a couple copies, right? No matter what, but yeah, if they've taken like 100 pre-orders already, you gotta make sure you know you're not screwed, and you're waiting for like a second print run. As with any game of this size and scope, there might be cases when the rules offer no definitive answer and multiple interpretations seem equally viable. Remember this universal rule: the party decides ambiguity. Just make sure whatever decision you'd like about how to resolve the situation. Just make whatever decision you'd like about how to resolve the situation. And if you need extra clarification for something, the official FAQ will be maintained. Okay, cool. Yeah, that was one of my complaints about the first Gloomhaven, is like the FAQ was longer than the rulebook, and the rulebook was huge. And it was like kind of annoying as we played through it and just kept like finding new things. And yeah, the rulebook left a lot to be desired. But hopefully this one, with the like many eyeballs, the many extra, year of development or years of development, the learning they've had from 2 other games, the digital, if they've had feedback from the digital Gloomhaven and stuff, from players getting into it from that way, if they've taken seriously new players to the game and where they struggle, and the rules posts on BGG, the rules questions online, if they kind of really took those to heart and tried to make sure the rulebook covers a lot of that stuff in a nice digestible way, then the FAQ won't be so big. But a game of this scope is definitely going to have things that like nobody caught in playtesting or whatever. So we'll see. But at least they have it there. They're mentioning it right off the bat. So like, you don't have to go dig through forums forever. They should collect stuff and answer stuff there. Hopefully they keep it up to date, especially for the first few months, and jam a bunch of stuff in there as it gets out in the wild. So it was great. Lastly, you'll find that some sections of the rulebook have been left blank, because we like to waste paper. No, I'm just joking. You'll be directed to fill these blank sections in with stickers, describing new rules as you open certain sealed envelopes. So don't worry about them for now. So they have some legacy-ish style stuff, some surprises. So the rules will expand as the game grows, as you play through it. That's kind of neat right there. Beginning of a scenario. Okay, cool. That's also a clever way to like reduce the amount of rules burden that has to be taken into account before you get the game to the table the first time, or the second or third time, to get the flow of the game. So I always like legacy games for that, which we'll be playing the Aeon's End one soon. But I like those kind of games. They usually like take the core mechanic of the regular game and then like strip out a ton of stuff. So you're like really learning this basic game at first. And I love the way like slowly through scenarios, it slowly like peels back the layers and gives you more rules. I like that for new players getting into a game with legacy. It's a cool way to do things. I know they're probably doing it here for surprise also, but maybe it's just to help like players get into the game. It has that like second like advantage, which I like a lot. Whatever scenario is played, the party will prepare for the scenario by performing the following steps in order. Select your scenario to play. Resolve a road event if necessary. Okay. Set up all map tiles for the scenarios depicted. I really wish that said open the book to the page of the scenario and play out of the book, but those books aren't ready yet. So I hope those are still coming. I don't know about, I haven't seen any updates on them in a while, but retrieve the materials, overlay tiles, set up the first room. Okay, this is like standard setting up the stuff, but hold on, we have a blue section. Deal 3 battle goals to each character. Ooh, 3. Decide which one to keep. I like more choice. Great. It's like drafting. Love it. Decide which one to keep for each character and discard the others. And then there's a big sticker right after that. Oh, are they going to have something additional along the line of battle goals? Who knows? Who knows what's going to be there, but that's huge. Place the token tray nearby. Oh, so the token tray is new, I guess. That's cool. So they put in one like they put in like the token tray they had in Jaws of the Lion, right? It's better than nothing, that's for sure. Build the loot deck as depicted by the loot table in the scenario entry. A loot deck? Oh, did someone say loot? Mark, thank you for subscribing, by the way. Thank you so much. I don't have my headphones on, so I'm not hearing the notifications. I'm sorry, but I see it in chat. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, okay. Christian says the store is listed as an official retailer on Cephalofair site, but it's worth checking with them. Yeah, just double check. Make sure they haven't taken like hundreds and hundreds of pre-orders, and they can't guarantee you on the first shipment. Because there will be stores that don't take pre-orders that'll get tons of copies. So that's what I do in like the video game world. I used to do that a lot, even in board games. I find places that don't take pre-orders. for weird things. And then, yeah, I just go there and buy things on the first day. As long as there's not giant lineups and everyone else is doing the same thing. But that's like a little trick. Usually places that take pre-orders are the first things to sell out of stuff. And then there's some stores that are in the middle who like take a certain amount of pre-orders. They get told don't take more than this. And then they still have a bunch that they save that they don't put in the pre-order pool that they use to stock the shelves at the stores. One of my local stores does this. So like online, everyone goes on there and buys all the pre-orders super fast. But usually they have a handful that they're allocated just for the shelves at the store. And then I just go there the day, if I miss the pre-orders and they sold out, I just have to know to go there like first thing in the morning once they have copies in stock, and then I get them off the shelf. But yeah. Yogi, where the hell you been, man? I had this stream scheduled for like a week. Man, you're so late. Jeez. Damn it. He found us. Damn it. He caught on. Sajat's here to Sajat. This game is not for Sajat, obviously. Sajat says, here's my question. Did they do anything to make this game actually good and interesting? Yeah, it's not for everyone. No game is for everyone. That's the beauty of our hobby. There's 4,000 games that get released every 30 minutes in our hobby, it seems. So that's my statement every time. There's something for you. So not every game is for you. And yeah, especially a game like this, Monster, is definitely not for everybody. It is definitely a niche game, that's for sure. Yeah, it can be number 1 on BGG, but that's still a niche website and a niche hobby. So yeah. So we can't talk about Yogi anymore. He's here. Okay. But yeah, so it's not for everyone. I hope people understand that if you're watching the stream, you understand, like, you know, you care about the Frosthaven rules. You should know what Frosthaven is. So that's why I'm not going into all that stuff. But yeah, we'll play it in the future on the channel. All right. I don't know if they made it interesting, Sajat, though. We'll find. Oh, last year was a drop? Yeah, because of COVID. It was only like 3,400 games for the year. Only? All right. So anyways, more stickers, more new rules. We have no idea what they are. Like, we won't know. Like, I literally won't know what some of these stickers are for like a year probably from now. You know, as you play it and get into it and whatever. Maybe not. Maybe like 6 months from now, we may know what those are. I don't want to know spoilers when they do happen. In our actual playthrough, that's when we'll know, I guess. But I'll do my best to not know until I put that sticker on there. Decide which items to bring for each character from their pool and apply any negative effects. Yeah, that's normal stuff. Decide which ability cards to bring for each character from their pool. Yeah, okay. This is something that I always forgot how it worked, and I thought this was the way in the physical Gloomhaven. That's not in the digital, which I kind of find annoying. If you notice here, you start in the physical game, and I thought this was how it was, but it's been so long, is you set up the scenario. You see your starting stuff. You grab your, you know, in the Gloomhaven, you grab your enemies and all that stuff, all your tiles you need. You have an idea of what's coming, right? You set up your stuff. You know the scenario. It's on the table in front of you, right? And then you go through your cards and you pick your cards from your card pool for your character and change your cards. I feel like in Gloomhaven Digital, it's like they give you like a one-liner of what's going on in the scenario, a couple pictures of enemies, and from there, you have no idea if the scenario needs lots of movement cards because it's super long, or, you know certain enemies are there, but like, I guess you have some of that. So yeah, but there's just like a little bit of disconnect, and I thought that like you have to select all your cards in Gloomhaven Digital before you load up. The beauty is Gloomhaven Digital, you don't have to do all this crazy setup. It's just done for you. So you could always just like take a look at the scenario and then like restart, change your cards, you know, and you're good. But I always just thought that was a little weird the way that's done. That's just one I'm playing most recently, so that's why I am thinking of that. Okay, set your hit point dial, road effects. Okay. Oh, man. Okay. Woo. All right. So John says the worst thing is that that is one more thing you will play a lot instead of other games I'd rather watch. But okay. But hey, you're exactly right. No game is for everyone. Yeah. Okay. Scenario entries. Each scenario entry in the scenario book is critical for setting up and playing that scenario. Most scenario entries contain the following information: scenario's name and number, the scenario's grid coordinates on the map board, or FR if they're in French. If the scenario takes place within Frosthaven itself. Oh, okay. When I see that, I think FR for French. Any requirements for playing the scenario, including necessary campaign stickers or special travel icons that require the corresponding building upgrade. Ooh. The complexity of the scenario. Oh, that's neat. On a scale of 1 to 3. Higher complexity scenarios will generally take longer and have more special rules. So if you're sitting there at game night with your friends and you have your list of scenarios you can go play on your different paths, you know, we could try this one. This one has these enemies you can do for your personal quest. Do we want to choose this scenario? We got locked out of that one, but we can play this one. Do we go to Frosthaven and play some scenarios in the actual city? You can kind of decide how much time do you have left, which players actually showed up this week to play, and you guys can discuss amongst yourselves. Oh, there's a 3 complexity one here. Maybe we save that for when we're together on the weekend and have more time. And then Bob is here with this crazy character, and he loves the super long, crazy, difficult scenarios. Maybe tonight, because we only have a couple hours, you know, Bob's not here. Let's play one of those easy ones, the level 1 complexity ones. I think that's kind of neat to give players that information. Just more information is not bad. I like that. That's interesting. I like that a lot, actually. It's like respectable. Respect for the players, I feel there. I like that. It's a small thing, but it's great. I love it. The geographical feature where the scenario is located, if any. Okay. The designers and writers of the scenario. Side scenarios only. Ooh. The goal of the scenario. When this is achieved, the scenario is completed, and the specified section in the section book should be read at the end of the current round for the conclusion and rewards. Oh, a section book. So that's like separate to hide things? That like hide stuff from you so it's not all in front of you and you know like what happens next? If that's what they're doing, I love that. That was one of my complaints about Gloomhaven was you could see the whole, like your eyes could wander and you could see like you knew there was a boss in the next room and like you had all that stuff there and like, I don't know. It was okay. Like, but yeah, I liked when they hide stuff from you, which is neat in like games where they hide it in an app or they hide it in an extra book, you know, or, you know, in a hidden book of secrets, like in Sword and Sorcery we were playing recently. I like where like you have map tiles there. You don't know where they're going to appear, where it's going to happen. I like that. All right, section links, which will describe when you should reference the section book for any additional information. Important elements such as additional room setups. Ah, there we go. Yep, can be found in these sections. Section links are read immediately when the condition described is fulfilled, even if it interrupts an ability. The configuration of map tiles needed for the entire scenario, with each map tile labeled. Most of the time, this will be more than the initial room. Do not reference the setup for any additional rooms, which will be detailed in the section book. Okay, perfect. So it's like Sword and Sorcery. They tell you all the tiles you need to get out, which ones to set aside, which ones you'll need for the start of the scenario. And then in the Book of Secrets in that game, which is like the section book here, that's where you'll find your information as you're playing, when to set things up, when to spawn enemies and do the next room. I like that. I like that a lot. So you don't need an app to solve that problem and have to wait for a fan-made app or something to fix that. I like that. I like that. It's really good. That shows improvement. Great job. Okay, the composition of the loot deck. Oh, I'm excited to get to page 16. I can't wait. Hey, Spencer. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Justin. Yeah, using the app, there's like a fan-made app, or I don't know if they had an official app eventually. We played Gloomhaven kind of early before all those cool apps came out and the Gloomhaven helper stuff was done. But yeah, I love that they added that in because that was one of my complaints. But that's the problem when you come to a game like early, you know, you're playing a game first or software, you know, beta testing, early access. You get the crappiest version of a game because you decide to play it before they fix things and patch things and DLC and expansions and whatever. So yeah, but if anyone's playing Gloomhaven now, yeah, look up the Gloomhaven helper app before you get into it. Yeah, you probably want to have that handy and play with it, right? Yeah, I want to, Dragon, I'm debating skipping to page 16. All right, so scenario key. Okay, I just want to look at these pictures here. I like how clean and new and up-to-date this looks. This gives me like Jaws the Lion vibes, but even better. Yeah, I like clean. This PDF's not that high res, obviously, so these images are kind of like blurry, like, you know, it's not really printer friendly. I'm also stretching it up to like 1440p. So it might not be as clear on the images, but it's pretty good for a PDF. But yeah. So there's your design writer. Okay. Scenario effects. All characters gain orange drip token. I don't know what that is. Bleed, maybe? I don't know. Wound. Who knows? I don't know this stuff yet. All right, road events. We know about road events, but look at these cards. They look like there's some effort put into them. Not much, but there's some. And look at that font. That is tiny ass font. Holy. Holy, look at all that text they're jamming on that card. And I'm assuming these are like mini cards too, and I have them like blown up. So hopefully they include a magnifying glass in the box, because that would be nice. But look at all this info. Holy crap. Unless they're full-size cards. Are they full-size cards? I think they are in the game, right? In the physical game. That's a full-size card, right? Like standard size or whatever. Okay, Winter Road Event. Ooh, boy. I'm excited. All right. Not excited to find out how bad they are on the backside, but I like that. So I'm just going to skip to the blue stuff here. There are 2 decks of road events. Oh, man. Summer and winter. Oh, draw a random road event from the deck that corresponds to the current season. We have seasons. Oh, that's cool. On paper. We'll see if it's cool in the game. As shown by the next unmarked box on the campaign calendar. We have a calendar to keep track of. Uh-oh, more bookkeeping. Okay, so we know about road events. Yeah, you make a choice on the front. You read some text. You got to decide, you know, do you want to make smart decisions, bad decisions? I remember discussing this on a previous stream. I read one of the updates somebody showed me was they actually took these events way more serious. So it's maybe not as clear what the issue is. It's not as straight good and bad, you know, kind of thing. They made it so it's like cooler choices, more thought was put into them. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I'm looking forward to that stuff. Some options and outcomes have requirements associated with them. The most common requirement checks whether any of the characters has a specific trait listed on the front of their character mat. So here's where the traits come into play. So it's instead of just having the specific class symbol, you could just have a class with a certain trait. Other requirements might refer to the gold, resources, or other campaign stats you have, or whether specific achievements stickers are present on the campaign sheet. When the word collective is used, the requirements refers to the entire party and can also include any collective resources listed on the campaign sheet. If the requirement is not met, instead read the outcome labeled otherwise. Cool. Sticker 4. So something else related to seasons or road events or something there is going to change. So there's probably like a hidden stack of cards that'll eventually start getting shuffled in. Or is that related to probably like retiring characters maybe? As characters retire, this is how it changes the events or something. Maybe they're hiding that now. I don't know. Doors. Okay, exciting stuff. Doors separate rooms. Cool. I like how they are actually putting the graphics on there to show it's a door tile to make things easier to sort. I feel like in the first game it was just art, right? And like a colored border. Icons are always good. Icons are always good. I feel that's different. I should actually have the other Gloomhaven rulebook open just to like look up other stuff because I'm forgetting. Yeah, let's see. I don't know if they'll have in the other one. Let's see if we can just see. I don't know if they'll show it here in like the tokens even. Just I want to see quickly. Yeah, see, I feel like all the tiles and things had nothing on them. They're just like, you know, art, right? So it's like you had to know like what you're looking for. Which is cool, but like just having icons, it makes less confusion. Yeah, see, a door just had like nothing, right? It's just in the setup had a blue border. I don't know if on the physical tokens, or is this just for setup they have a blue border? Yeah, maybe it's not actually on the physical token. But I do like how this is more clear, right? Icy terrain, difficult terrain, hazardous terrain is like more clear in the book. I like that. I like that. Oh, is this one of those stupid PDFs that has the 2 pages in one? Oh my god. Oh, it is. Oh, that sucks. Why? Why do this? Who does this? This is stupid. Oh man. Yeah, I was like, oh no. Okay, how do we fix this? Is there a way to page fit? Nope. Page width. Oh, that sucks. Thank you. Who pointed that out? Sven, thank you so much. Yeah. Why did he do this? Like, the cover is 1 page, so I zoomed in on that, right? And then I start scrolling, and all of a sudden the pages gained weight and they got wider. So I totally skipped all this other stuff. That sucks. Okay, anyways. So, oh, nice. They put a complexity for each starting character or starting class or whatever. Banner Spears, low complexity. Natural leader and protector with powerful attacks that require proper positioning. Drifter, low complexity. Jack of all trades with great stamina to fill any role you need. Bone Shaper, medium complexity. Summoner of the undead who sacrifices their health to create and heal allies. Ooh. Deathwalker, medium complexity. Manipulator of dead spirits who uses death as a fuel for their abilities. Blink Blade, high complexity, powerful melee fighter who is able to quickly zip in and out of combat. So I'm assuming they have a lot of like move and attack on the same part of the card. Like, that's neat. Geminate, high complexity, insect swarm with 2 separate forms that allow for switching between melee and range attacks. Okay, that's cool. Okay, I didn't see that. Your goal is to keep the outpost from of Frosthaven safe from all threats. Your party of mercenaries will do this by venturing into the wilderness in various scenarios. Once a scenario is complete, new scenarios become available, which progresses the campaign narrative. Between scenarios, your party will return to Frosthaven to resolve events, acquire new items and abilities, and interact with buildings. The heart of the game lies in its characters, which you will create from 6 starting classes, though more will be available as soon as the campaign progresses. The game can be played with 2 to 4 players, and each player will use a separate character. See page 69 for solo mode rules. Each character class, indicated by a different icon, has a unique set of ability cards that determine how they play. Cool. All right, so we read this page on the left, but on the right here, I can just zoom in, and we just got to remember we have to like scroll. Where was this? Nope. How was I doing that? Page width? No, we need to go further. Yeah, let's get 1 page on the screen at a time. That's fine. So we'll go over here. Oh, nice and big so everyone can read it. I don't feel silly. I feel offended that they released a PDF like this and they didn't fix it. It's kind of stupid. Yeah, I don't feel dumb. I feel betrayed. It's like, how many PDF rulebooks do I have open on stream for the last, how many years we've been doing this? And I see this happen like 1 in every 100 or so does this. And then usually you can find a fixed one online, which I'm sure there probably is. I just don't want to take the time to find it. But yeah, it's pretty silly. All right. Ability cards. Yeah, we can skip through some of this stuff that's like not new. Personal quest cards. Got our little dial. Hopefully the dials are nice and tight, not loose like the other ones. But again, you can probably just use them from Jaws of the Lion if that's the case. But I'm sure they fixed that by now. Scenario phase. Okay, so we'd go back to this side. We read through this, learning the rules. Okay, good stuff in there. Went to this side. Scenario phase. Okay, beginning a scenario, playing a scenario, ending a scenario. In addition to the scenario book, this is why it was being weird. Why were they talking about a section book without seeing it? Okay, the section book will also be important for playing through a scenario. Anytime you see the section book icon, read the specified section of the section book. The number before the period is a specific page number, and the number after the period is the specific section on that page. Okay, cool. Section links. When door 1 is open, read section book 5.3. And then you go to there, 5.3, A Town in Flames. Gives you some story, new setup with your stuff that you pulled out of the box. Okay, beginning of scenario, we went through that stuff. Scroll over to the right here. So dumb. Yeah, see, it's a mess. All right. Anyways. Oh, there's your little token tray. Okay. There's your stuff put out on the board. Yeah, your setup, okay. Oh, there's your little tags. What is this thing? 16 banner spear? Is that just your cards? I think it's just your cards, right? Just looks a little square, but it's probably just the angle. Yeah, it's just your cards. Okay. All right. So let's go back to the left. Scenario entries. Okay, we read through that. Go to the right side. Control middle wheel. Is that a thing? Oh, that's just zooming. Yeah, I know that. But I was just trying to like lock it in with one of the fixed settings to see if I could, like in Adobe. I probably should have done it through Adobe. You can get around some of this in Adobe, but most browsers and stuff don't have that kind of feature, like the read mode stuff. But maybe this presentation mode. Yeah, see, presentation mode is like, just puts it like slides. That's all. No big deal. Yeah, just annoying. It's just not, interface friendly on the browser, but that's okay. I appreciate the help, though. I do. How about this view? Can you guys like read this okay? I know I'm not asking those watching on a phone, but I like the other way because I know people watching on a phone can read it too. But doing it this way, we can just scroll through. But yeah, let me know how this one looks. But yeah, if you want me to zoom in more than this, just let me know. Just let me know. Fun of doing it live. Yogi, I'm not asking. If you're not even looking at the screen, I don't want an answer from you. Just joking. Steven says, fine for me on an iPad. Okay, good. Nope, not on tablet, says Dragon, but I'm just mainly listening over actual reading. Okay, perfect. Okay. Sven says, just need a bigger TV. Okay, no, I'm going to zoom in. You guys are funny. Okay, hold on. I'll just zoom in. Here, I can go up to... What I'll do, I'll go back to the first page. Then I think it was like page width. No. How did it do that? Page width? Page fit? No. Page width. There it is, page width. So now I know the correct page width. So when I scroll down, we're going to go find the last page we were on. Of course, it reloads the whole thing now. I don't know why it does that. Chris John says, to be honest, most of us had already memorized it. No, not everyone reads Kickstarter updates or reads the rules for games before they own them. That's like a very minority thing, actually, that do that, including myself. Like, honestly, most games, if you release a rulebook like this before I get your game, like, 6 months down the road, I don't care about your rulebook unless I'm like deciding whether to back it, right? But if I've already backed it, I've gone past that point. So like just get here and then I'll start reading. Otherwise, it's just a waste of time, in my opinion. But I am super excited for this game. That's why I'm reading it now. So I don't know. I assume most people here have not read the rulebook, but or like but I guess yeah, reactions kind of a thing too. These objects are on the map. Okay. So loot tokens. Loot tokens, you say, are objects on the map that characters can interact with, gain rewards from the loot deck. Okay. Monster placement, notable hexes. I like this. Monster rank. This is better than the other system they had. That was so confusing. 2 characters is the first box, 3 and 4. It's black, no monster. White, grab the little white standee. Yellow, grab the yellow standee. It's elite. Okay, cool. I like that. That's clear. It's clear. The other one, like, is it in the top part of the hex? Which player is that? And then at the right, it's like, yeah, I remember seeing people always posting like, whoops, I played Gloomhaven for how many scenarios, and I didn't realize I was setting up the monsters wrong and making it too hard for ourselves. That was a thing for sure. Each map tile is considered to be full of empty hexes, no overlays, tiles, or figures. These traversable hexes are surrounded by walls consisting of border hexes separated by wall lines. Overlay tiles, we know about those. A hex with no overlay tiles is considered featureless. That's a new thing. A hex with no figure is considered unoccupied. A hex with neither an overlay tiles or a figure is considered empty. Tokens are not overlay tiles. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Overlay tile art. Here we go. This explains more. Okay. Note, many overlay tiles can function as different types of overlays. For example, a snow rock tile can be used as an obstacle, an objective, or a wall, depending on the border shown in the scenario layout. Oh, that could be confusing. The type of overlay is determined by its color and icon, not necessarily the illustration on the tile or the name in the scenario book. It's interesting. It's like good to reuse tokens to kind of do different things to make the scenarios feel different, but it might get a little confusing. But okay. And then we looked at doors, traps, hazardous terrain, difficult terrain, icy terrain. Okay, let's look at this. Difficult terrain. A figure requires 2 movement points to enter difficult terrain hex, except when flying or jumping, even if the jump movement ends there. Okay, so you can end jumping. Difficult terrain, except when flying or jumping. So jumping before, you couldn't end your turn on something that was like, you know, if you weren't flying, you had no business being there kind of idea. So you had to like jump into regular terrain or whatever. So that's different, right? That's why this is highlighted. That's good. I like that. Makes jumping a little more powerful, right? Icy terrain. If a figure enters an icy terrain hex, except when teleporting, flying, or jumping, that figure is forced to move 1 additional hex without spending a movement point in the same direction as the movement that caused them to enter the hex. This extra movement is unaffected by difficult terrain, but it will not occur if it would cause the figure to move through a wall line or to enter a hex occupied by another figure. Obstacles or objective. If the movement causes the figure to enter another icy terrain hex, the effect triggers again. Whoop, 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 whoop. That's slippery. I love it. That's cool. Thematic win right there. It's going to piss me off a lot as we're playing, and I'm trying to be precise, but yeah, that's clever. I like that. That's clever. All right, what do we got here on this page? We have obstacles, objectives. Okay. Objectives are tied to the goal of some scenarios and typically need to be destroyed or protected. Okay. In either case, the special rules for the scenario will assign a maximum hit point value to each objective, usually based on the scenario level and the number of characters. Objectives can be targeted by attacks and suffer damage, but are immune to all conditions and forced movement. Objectives are considered to have an initiative 99 for the purpose of focusing, unless otherwise stated by the special rules for the scenario. But do not take turns. Any damage an objective suffers is marked by placing damage tokens directly on it. When the total damage suffered by an objective is equal to its maximum hit point value, the objective is destroyed and the objective tile is removed from the map. Objectives are considered figures, and the hexes they are in are considered occupied. Objectives are not considered obstacles. Okay, that's very clear, right? Like it covers everything in there. I like that. Walls. Like the walls on the border of a map tile, figures cannot cross the wall lines into a wall hex by any means. Even when flying or jumping, any section of a map tile surrounded by a wall lines is considered to be a separate room. Okay. Slip right into a pit? Oh, man, imagine. Christian John says, we're so different. I usually read the rulebook once a week while waiting for the Kickstarter to arrive. You're crazy, my friend. But remember, I have to like stream and play other games, so I'm constantly like reading new rulebooks and stuff. So like if I was reading this one over and over again leading up to it, I will probably the week leading up to it. If I get my shipping notification, yeah, I'll go back and start reading this. But I have too many other rules. This would just confuse me even more if I'm playing like too many other games around the same time. So I like to like very compartmentalize it, right? Like keep it separated. It has its time. Because once this information goes in my brain, other stuff starts falling out the other side. So treasures, you say? Treasures? If there's no cards left in the random item blueprint deck, gain 1 inspiration instead. Inspiration? What kind of game are we playing here? Lord of the Rings, Journeys to Middle-earth? What is inspiration? Treasure deck unlocks a random scenario. Draw a card from the random scenario deck. Okay. If there are no cards left in the random scenario deck, gain 1 inspiration instead. Did I skip a spot where... Oh, see page 54. Sorry. Okay. We'll learn about inspiration later, I guess. There's a treasure index. This is the important stuff, right? Learning about the loot and the treasure. Loot deck. Here we go. Finally. We made it. I'm going to end the stream right after reading this page. This is all I care about. No, I'm just joking. All right. Loot deck. Each scenario will have a custom loot deck built as directed by a scenario book entry consisting of different types of loot cards. The number of cards of each type specified should be randomly drawn from their own individual decks and shuffled together to form the loot deck. I do remember reading about this before. Yeah, I remember reading about this before. I was curious how the crafting and stuff worked, right? So based on where you are in the world, obviously you'll find different types of materials, right? I'm assuming that's how they're tying it, right? If you're in a specific place that doesn't have this kind of plant or, you know, this kind of thing, you shouldn't be able to find it there. So you want to travel around the world to find specific things to level up. Kind of like similar to a personal quest. You're trying to, you know, have your character retire. You go to specific places, some of them to beat certain monsters or find weapons or do a little side quest or whatever. If they're tying that in, like location specific, that is very cool. The 4 different types of loot are as follows. Money. 20 cards depicting 1 to 3 coins, which are converted to gold based on the scenario level. Okay. All right. Material resources. 8 cards per material type. Lumber, metal, hide, which provide a varying number of materials based on the number of characters in the scenario. Herb resources. 2 cards per herb type. Arrow vine, axe nut, corpse cap, flame fruit, rock root, snow thistle, which provide 1 herb each, and a random item, 1 card that provides a random item. This can only be gained once per scenario entry. Certain events will allow you to add a +1 sticker to a loot card. Stickers on loot cards, you say? Which provide 1 additional resource of that type. What? You can upgrade your loot? Okay, all right. You got me. You got me. I'm listening. I'm listening. Money and resources looted during the scenario are not gained until the end of the scenario. See page 47. But random items are gained immediately when looted. Oh, okay, cool. Now, I don't know if it does it in this game, but I do wish Gloomhaven, like when you find something in a chest in a scenario, I wish you could equip it right away. That's one thing that's weird in Gloomhaven that in like most other games you can usually do. It's like, oh, I found this sword. Perfect. It's a fire sword. Great. I need it for these enemies that are annoying, that are weak to fire. Perfect. How lucky is this? Awesome. Let's use it right now. Instead, it's like, you know, traveling to a convention far away and you're like, find a new game, but you can't play the game right away. You have to ship it back home and you can only play it at home kind of idea. It's like, I want to use it now. I found it now. Let me use it now. As characters grow in power, the scenario level will also increase. This is scenario level stuff. There's a frost symbol beside it. Monster level, gold conversion, trap damage, hazardous terrain. Oh, hazardous terrain gets worse. Is that the... No, that's not difficult. That's just like the damage stuff, right? That makes sense. I think it always did that, didn't it? Or no? I guess not because the frost is there. I'm assuming that's new because I feel like I've never done that before, but again, years ago. Years ago. Okay. Oh yeah, sorry. Other page, other page. Okay. Battle goals. Oh, look at this annoying dude. Okay, battle goals. At the start of every scenario, we receive 3 battle cards now. We saw that before. Discard the others. There's sticker 5. Holy stickers, Batman. Okay, let's try to get through this quicker. Playing a scenario. Card selection. Just going to start looking for the stuff that's specific. Aww. Here, characters should not show each other the cards in their hand or give specific info about any numeric value or title on these cards. They are, however, allowed to discuss strategy and make general statements about their plans for the round. Man, games that do this, like, this is so lame. I understand they're trying to make it more chaotic. You're in battle. You don't have time to stop your fight. You're like fighting some monsters in a room. You're not going to be like, hold on, monsters. Let's go back to the drawing board. How are we going to attack this time? And, you know, come up with your battle plans, blah, blah, blah. So it makes sense thematically why they do it. It's just like, you know, it's kind of lame. We usually don't do this kind of rule on stream. I'll kind of like drop this in most games, so it helps people learn the game as we're playing. Like we can discuss out loud to kind of help people with strategy and kind of figure out how the game works and show off cards and interactions and stuff. But super boring to watch a stream when you're hiding your cards to yourself and not showing them ever. That I've tried that before. That is a snooze fest. So I'll probably not really follow this too hard when we're playing on stream, maybe, but we'll see. We will see. We'll see for Gloomhaven. It worked for Gloomhaven okay, but yeah. I'm attacking this Aljox archer near the end of the round. I'm planning to move here and heal you pretty early, hopefully before the monsters attack. Can I infuse earth on your turn? I will try to go after you. You're not allowed to say, you'll need to go lower than 17 before me. I'm going in the first quarter of the round. That's the one we used to use all the time. I didn't realize they weren't allowed until we learned later. I should be dealing 4 damage to the Aljox guard, or I need you there for the unbreakable wall. Okay, cool. They want to mitigate alpha players. Is that really why? That's the only reason why? Okay, sure. The only problem is that what I don't like, it adds like, not only do you have to learn the game, now you have to learn an additional language to get around the rules of not saying what you're doing on the turn. But most playgroups will just come up with little keywords and winks and other things to say that just give it away. But it's like, why go through all that effort and time figuring all that stuff out? Just say it. If you want to play that way, it's your game. You paid for it. Play it how you want. That's how I say it. But yeah, we'll see. All right. Determine the initiative order by comparing the initiative rules on all revealed monster ability cards. Take the initiative order token for... Oh, yeah, this is just initiative stuff. That's cool. Cards look clean. I like the cards. They definitely look cleaner. A little money into graphic design this time. That's good. That is good. Character and monster turns, actions, abilities. Okay, if an action consists of multiple abilities, these will be separated from each other ability by ability lines. Oh, okay, they put like little lines in there. So you know, instead of it's like, you just, is it on a new line? Is there kind of a space between it? Is it all capitalized or not? You kind of know that way, but that's cool. Important ability concepts. Line of sight. When a figure or hex is targeted by any ability, the acting figure must have a clear line of sight to the target in order to perform the ability. Line of sight is established if a line can be drawn from any part of the acting figure's hex to any part of the target hex without touching a wall line. So yeah, you can do it from like the center of the hex or whatever instead of from point to point. That's cool. Okay. Allies, enemies, and self. In general, negative abilities can only target enemies, and positive abilities can only target allies or the acting figure. Some abilities have specific targeting information that contradicts this rule. An ability specifying its targets as all follows these restrictions, but an ability specifying its targets as all figures breaks these rules restrictions. Okay. Okay. Figures treat the hex they occupy as adjacent for the purposes of targeting. Attack, conditions, heal, force movement, commanding figures, and manipulating tiles are all targeted abilities. Targeted abilities cannot be performed if there is no valid target. Okay. Hand gestures. Yeah, people use hand gestures. Yeah, Janet. The Jaws of the Line initiative tokens are tiny. I have a feeling they'll probably do the same thing, but maybe they made them bigger. Blue hexes indicate a hex which an ally must occupy. The ability cannot be performed otherwise. The ally is not targeted by the ability. Oh, that's neat. So instead of saying like range, you know, heal range 3, then maybe they'll have like, you know, heal, and then the ally has to be like beside you or something. Like, that's weird. I don't know. Like, I'm curious to see how that works. Blank hexes are used as spaces between other types of hexes. Okay, that's neat. So this isn't like those kind of abilities that like hit multiple hexes. They can now use gray, blue, red, and blank to kind of show cool effects. Oh, right here, right here. Area of effect. So you are the one that's gray, right? Yeah. So you're here. You can hit enemies to your right or whatever, 3 hexes adjacent to you. And then, but you have to have an ally on the exact opposite side of whichever direction you're hitting. That's neat. That's neat. That can open it up, right, for more crazy thematic kind of combo attacks and stuff, right? Weird things. I don't know. It's interesting. Okay. Oh yeah, we gotta scroll over. I'm definitely gonna miss a page for sure. Elements. Okay, we know all about elements. Looks like there's some blue here. If an action depicts an element consumption in the upper left corner, all those elements must be consumed to perform any part of the action. Oh, there's mixed ones. A mixed element icon depicts 2 elements with the same border, represents one of those 2 elements, but not both of them. When a wild or mixed element is infused at the end of their turn, the acting figure chooses which of those elements to infuse. Okay. Yep. Cool, cool. Oh, that's the mechanic for the banner spear? Yeah. I will look into the characters more, like when I get the game. I'm like, I don't really care to look through cards and abilities and figure out characters yet. I'll do that closer to when we're going to play through the game live on the channel. So I'm not, yeah, that's neat. It's neat that they're doing stuff like that. I like how they've added that extra stuff in. I think that's really cool. Teleport X. Now, teleport was in the game, but only with the like the Forgotten Circle stuff, right? Teleport X is an ability that transports a figure to any location within X hexes of their current hex without evaluating their path through all of the hexes between. A teleport ability is not considered a move ability, and a teleporting is not considered movement. Teleportation is not affected by anything, even walls. In the hexes between, a figure can only teleport to a valid hex, and any effects of entering that hex still trigger normally unless otherwise stated. A figure cannot teleport into an unrevealed room, but they can teleport to a hex with a closed door, opening the door as a result. Okay. So you can't go through closed doors. Cool. Jumping. Flying. If a figure loses flying, treat them as if they're entering their current hex with normal movement. In such case, the figure currently occupies a hex with an obstacle. They instead move into the closest unoccupied hex without an obstacle, triggering any effects of that hex. Ooh. Okay. What do we have here? We have attacking, attack modifier cards. Okay. Ward and brittle are applied. If the target has both conditions, they negate each other and are removed. Do we miss conditions or they're on another page? 28. Have we got there yet? I don't want to miss the conditions. Oh, still coming soon. We're on like page 26 here. All right. Timing of stuff. Another figure uses the character's deck. The character controls the added effects of the modifier, even though the attacking figure applies to them. You can use another character's deck? Don't touch my cards. That's cool. Advantage and disadvantage. Okay, there's something new here. With the advantage, the attacker draws 2 modifiers and uses one of them. The monster always uses the better one, but a character may use either. Oh. Oh, that's clever. You have some extra choice. So you don't have to deal with, like, you know, the fiddliness of, like, is this one better? You just choose. If the first drawn with advantage or disadvantage is a rolling modifier, the attacker draws an additional modifiers, one at a time until a non-rolling modifier is drawn. They then draw one more modifier and ignore any rolling icon on it. The first non-rolling modifier and the one after it are compared. If the attack has advantage, the attacker uses all initial rolling modifiers and whichever of the last 2 modifiers they choose. If the attack has disadvantage, the attacker ignores all initial rolling modifiers and uses whichever of the last 2 modifiers is worse. If the first draw with advantage or disadvantage is not a rolling modifier, but the second draw is, the rolling icon on the second modifier is still ignored. I'll definitely need to reread that a few times when we're playing the game. When we start getting rolling modifiers into the game, you know, and start seeing them. So piercing, okay. Pierce, we know about Pierce, getting through shields. Oh, they have a timing chart here. I didn't even notice that before. Timing chart's nice. Conditions. Yeah, it's definitely better. I like the way they clarify the whole rolling modifier thing because that was super confusing and weird in the first one. Okay. Bless and curse tokens are only used for tracking the effect of traps. Okay. Regenerate. The figure performs heal oneself at the start of each of their turns, even if they have stun. Regenerate is removed when the figure suffers damage. If a figure has both regenerate and wound, the regenerate effect is applied first, removing the wound before it takes effect. A little bit of regen. I like it. Ward. The next time the figure suffers damage from any source, they instead suffer half that amount of damage rounded down. And ward is then removed. If a figure has both ward and brittle, they negate each other and are removed. Okay, invisible. Enemies treat figures with invisibles if they were not there. They can move through figures with invisible, but still cannot end their movement on the same hex. So you can't block doors anymore. So stop doing that. No blocking doors for you. Okay, cool. Let's see. What do we got here? Brittle. Okay, wound. We know about... Okay, that's the wound icon. I thought it was wound before. Brittle. Looks like a shattering here. The next time the figure would suffer damage from any source, they instead suffer double. Okay. So it's just the opposite. It's then removed. Brittle is also removed if the figure is healed. So that's what players wanted, right? You already hated poison and wound. Most annoying effects to get in the game, I guess. Stun is worse, I guess. But, like, you know, poison and wound, you're always annoyed when you get it. But, you know, why not add brittle to the mix? That's what we need. More of that. No, but that is cool. That's cool, and I like that. Bane. Speaking of Bane. The figure suffers 10 damage at the end of their next turn. And Bane is then removed. Bane is also removed if the figure is healed. What? What is this? 10 damage? Really? I'm assuming that shows up like later in the game. That's crazy if nobody has heals in your party and that happens. I'm assuming this can happen to you and the opponent. But that is scary, actually. What is this? I'm sure it's not as bad as I'm thinking, but like crazy. That's nuts. Impair. Impair can only be gained by characters. Oh yeah, so it would tell you. So that can go on everybody. Oh, Bane is replacing the execute mechanic from Gloomhaven. Anthony, thank you. Okay. Okay. Bane is basically a replacement for insta-kill effects, and now enemies can have it too. Oh, okay. Okay, so you have a chance to like get out of it kind of. I like that. I like that actually. Okay, that's cool to know. Thank you guys. Thank you, thank you. So impair can only be gained by characters. The character cannot use or trigger any items. But bonuses previously gained from items are still active. Impair is removed at the end of the character's next turn. That's kind of neat. Just shutting off your items. Stun, muddle, okay. Fun. All this is fun stuff. Curse, yeah, I love all this stuff. So fun. A single heal can remove any combination of wound, brittle, bane, and poison from a figure. However, if poison is present, the hit point increase is prevented. Oh, yeah. So same as before. So poison blocks the heal effect, but it still gets rid of all of these stupid, annoying things. But if you didn't have poison and you had like wound, brittle, and bane, it's all cleared and you still heal. So, newsflash, poison is still annoying. Awesome. Active bonuses. Okay, yep. A character may voluntarily remove a card with a persistent bonus, but not a round bonus, from their active area before the bonus expires. But doing so removes the bonus. This can be done at any time except during another ability. Okay. So if you're going to like recover cards from your discard pile, you want to shut off that active ability. You know, that's just passively sitting there. You can trash it to try to get it back or stop it if it's not helpful anymore. Makes sense. Shield. A shield ability always applies to the acting figure. Okay. Retaliate. Ability always applies to the acting figure. I guess, okay, sure. If a character summon cannot find focus, the summoner may choose for the summon to move toward them instead. That's great. That was the one that they like fixed the summons in Jaws of the Lion, right? And then it's an option in digital now. I like that. I like that. Forced movement is any negative targeted ability that allows the figure to control another figure's movement or teleport another figure. When a character performs a push or pull, they decide the direction and distance that target moves. Yes. Yes. So you don't have to do the whole, like, it has to be another hex that's further away and stuff. Direction and distance. Or maybe you do still. Push and pull can also be added to other abilities. Okay. Direction and distance. Okay. When a monster performs a push or pull, the party decides the direction, but the target must move as far as possible. Push and pull are unaffected by difficult terrain, but all normal other movement rules still apply, including the rules for flying figures. Immobilized or stunned figures can still be affected by push and pull, but are not by any other type of forced movement. Forces the target to move up to X hexes away from the acting figure. Each individual hex entered must place... Okay, so that's the rule still applies. Of each hex has to be further away. It's just you're picking the direction and distance. So you don't have to do the full push 3, right? If you have a push 3, you can do like... Yeah, you can do like up to push 2 or 1, I guess. Like, is this what's new? I guess you couldn't. Yeah, I don't know. Just trying to figure out what the new thing is there. When a loot token is looted, it is removed from the map. If the looting figure is a monster, nothing else happens. If the looting figure is a character, they draw one card from the loot deck. The loot deck provides a random item. The looting character checks off treasure X1 in the scenario entries loot table, then draws one loot card from the random item deck and adds it to their pool of items. They may then use it normally for the remainder of the scenario, even if it puts them above the limit for that type of item. Yes. So you find a second helmet, you can like put 2 helmets on right away? Or are you not allowed to go that far? If the random item deck is empty, the card is considered a money card with 3 coins. If the loot card provides money or resources, the looting character does not gain them until the end of the scenario. Okay. Okay, yeah, you don't have to do the full push or pull is what this is trying to tell us. That's what I thought. But at first I was like, any direction? Like, I was thinking you could break the direction up. But you still have to follow, like, it has to continue to push further each hex. So that rule still applies. I was like, are we getting around that? That would be really neat. It'd be a super flexible. Like, I want to push you this way so you're damaged on this hazardous terrain. Then I want to push you this way so you are hit by this trap. And then I'm going to push you this way so you're beside my buddy who's going to hit you next turn. But yeah. But you cannot do that. That would be awesome. Makes sense. You don't have like targeted pushing. Like, I want to push you with force. And then you like you start falling in different directions. If a looting character gains another copy of an item they already own, they must give it to another character or sell it immediately. Oh, give it to another character, you say? That's kind of neat. Giving it to another character. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, so we've got commanding figures. It's a targeted ability that allows the figure to command another figure and perform certain abilities. There are two ways to command figures. You can grant, allows a figure to grant an ability to a figure. Any commanded figure then performs that ability. If the commanded figure is a character summon or a character ally, the commanding figure decides how the ability is performed. Control allows a figure to control an ability of an enemy. The commanded figure then performs that ability, but the commanding figure decides how the ability is performed. During this ability, the commanded figure treats the commanding figure's allies and enemies as their own allies and enemies. When a move ability is controlled, it is considered forced movement. If an attack ability is granted or controlled, the commanding figure uses their normal attack modifier deck. An attack ability cannot be granted or controlled if the commanded figure has no valid targets or is affected by a negative condition that prevents the attack ability. So if you're like disarmed, you can't do it. A figure can be commanded to perform an attack X or a move X ability, even if they cannot normally attack or move. However, a figure cannot be commanded to perform an attack plus X or a move plus X ability if they cannot normally attack or move. A commanded figure retains all of their persistent bonuses and special traits. A commanded ability is not considered a separate turn. Objectives cannot be commanded. Manipulating tiles is an ability that allows a figure to alter the layout of overlay tiles on the map. There are 6 ways to manipulate tiles. You can create tiles. This is like Craig Hart kind of stuff, right? Destroy, relocate, move them, replace them, or spring allows a figure to destroy a trap and apply the effects of the trap to themselves unless otherwise stated. No hex can have more than one overlay tile in it except corridors and open doors. Traps cannot be placed in occupied hexes. If hazardous terrain is placed in an occupied hex, its effects are not applied to the figure in that hex. When manipulating obstacles, figures cannot cut off one area of the map from another, leaving an area that cannot be entered without going through an obstacle. Figures cannot manipulate any overlay tile that is covering a border hex of a map tile. Okay. Interesting. And then sticker 6. Sticker 6. What's in sticker 6? Character turns. Man, these cards are clean. I like this. I like this clean little table, graphic layout, templating, whatever you want to call it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Items. There's a crafting cost if the item's craftable at B. Oh, right here. This takes 2 hides. 2 hides for you to make the crude hide armor. I think they're trying to hide it there with a little blur, but I can see you. Yeah, so item limits. You can do the 2 helmets thing, right? If you find a helmet in a scenario, you get to use it right there. I like that a lot. I think, because that's the limits, right? Is your, like, slots. How many you can carry. Items cannot be transferred or traded between characters, but obviously if you find something in a scenario you already have, it's not wasted. I like that. That's respectable. I like that. All right. Item usage. Oh, flip icon. Flip icon means the item is flipped over after use, or flipped after use, revealing a different use on the other side of the card. That's like Madara style stuff, right? When the other side is used, the item is then flipped back over to its front side to be used again. The specific timing of when to flip the card is detailed in its text. Characters should always start with the scenario with these items on the side with the gold cost or crafting cost. Oh, I like they're kind of like blurring out stuff here to like hide things from you. Target one ally and then something two. Whatever. Sure. Interesting. They're trying to keep stuff like spoiler free, but show examples. All you do is just make up a fake item, make up a fake card. I like when rulebooks do that, where they make up fake stuff just to show you so you're not spoiled. Yeah, the not being able to trade is like a kind of, I think why they didn't put it in the game, and I don't know. I'm sure he's explained this before. People have probably asked. But remember, this is like a very heavy Euro kind of game, right? And I think he's trying to keep like very much balance to it, trying to make everything feel tight. So I think like certain characters, if you're just allowed to like give them all your items or give them all your gold, or they can sell those items and make more gold, and you can get a character that can be really powered up fast, faster than they should, I guess. So I don't know. It's just trying to, I think it's just a balance thing, trying to keep things as balanced. But yeah, it's weird though. Like I always find that weird. And maybe it's also so that like a character who can move and get to chests easily, it kind of sucks that like it's like a teamwork thing, right? You'd want that person to go grab that chest, but that means they usually keep everything that they get and they can't just trade it away. So they got to sell it, they lose half the gold, whatever. I don't know. But then it pushes it, like other players might want to go grab the chests, you know, kind of more often if they need items or looking for stuff. But you just never know what's in the chest. It's always random, right? So it's like it could be money, it could be a trap, could be something, an item not even for your character that you would never use. It's a little weird. Yogi says, I think that's what makes the game interesting. Otherwise, it'd be boring. Well, I think there's a fine line there, Yogi. If you're playing the same character and you're literally playing Gloomhaven or Frosthaven or Jaws Lion or whatever over and over again, that's the main complaint I see from people who Gloomhaven doesn't hit with them. Like players that like heavy games or like strategy games and dungeon crawlers, the players that don't like Gloomhaven, they seem to say it gets kind of like boring. You're doing the same thing over and over again. So what in those cases, what I think is could be the problem is the balance of like you're not getting that progression, right? The hook of Gloomhaven, it's got that legacy game, that discovery hook of the dopamine hit of constantly getting new things, new cards unlocked, new classes unlocked, new stickers, new items, like, you know, now you're crafting, now you're discovering stuff in your city, you're finding new locations, you're seeing new enemies, you know, things are constantly changing and becoming more interesting as long as you're progressing. But if a character keeps showing up every week and they're not getting gold, they're not getting as much XP, they're not advancing too quickly, it can start feeling repetitive because you still have the same limited card pool, you're still playing the same character over and over again, and you're watching other players who can move faster, can go grab the chest, can find all the gold, get all the items. They can level up quicker. They start getting new things. They're changing out their equipment more often. They're shopping in the store. They're grabbing that item deck more than you are, and they're getting to choose things and trade things and stuff like that. So you can have a player at the group or at the table that just doesn't advance that fast because they're not that type of character. So in that situation, it would be nice to be able to give that player, here, take these items. Here, you need it. You haven't been advancing fast enough. We need you to get up to our level, or we need you need a helmet item. You don't have the money. Here, let's try to get you that money. Like, I have extra stuff I'm not using. And instead of selling it back to the store and getting that money and you're just sitting there staring at them, you have a pile of gold, a pile of items, you have all what you need, and you literally started your classes at the same time. It's a way, you know, played the same amount of game. It'd be cool to like kind of cooperatively work, but also thematically, you're a bunch of ragtag mercenaries. You're not exactly like, you know, the Power Rangers or Team Voltron here working all together. You're mercenaries that are kind of looking out for yourself, and you can be kind of sketchy. You can be kind of evil. You know, you're not, you are allies, but you're not like, the theme of the game is you're just like, you're doing your own thing. Yeah, Saphir pointed out a good thing in the chat. You could kind of break things before you retire a character, right? You just give away all of your stuff, and then boom, that other person can level up faster. You'd race through the game and kind of break the balance of the game, and not just the balance of difficulty, but the balance of discovery, and the balance of advancing through the cool stuff in the game, like the unlocks and the advancement. So you can argue on both sides, but it's like, I don't know. I think with the way the game's designed, it might break things. And maybe they tried that in playtesting early and found out it's just like, it just doesn't work for this Euro type game that they've designed, right? But that's just, I don't know for sure. This is just me speculating, and I love thinking about it. It is frustrating, though. It can be frustrating, but it is cool. For some players, it's great because it motivates you. Like, if you only come over every other week to play with your buddies, they're advancing faster. You're not leveling. It incentivizes you to make weird decisions, like go grab that gold, try to get the chest, or tell your buddies to stay away from this, or you'll do that, or to try to achieve stuff, and try to get that extra gold just to get into the store to try to buy that weapon you would really love to get, that kind of thing. So yeah. Yeah, Steven says it as well. The game is centered around personal, not party quests. Yes. So yeah, the theme of the game is like you're in it for yourself. You're a mercenary. You're trying to get things done. You retire when you feel like you want to retire. But yeah, you're working together. You're like co-workers is how I look at it. Not like a team that's like trained together and grown up together. You're not all friends. You're not friends. You're co-workers. That's the way it is, and that can kind of fit. That mechanic can fit with that kind of mentality, I guess. All right. Back to the reading. The exciting Rob reading text. All right. Mandatory triggers. If any part of an action is performed, certain abilities and effects of that action cannot be skipped. In such cases, the ability or effect is highlighted in a box with a exclamation point in front of it. These include negative abilities and elemental infusion experience, lost icons, active icons. So you can't avoid, if you do life and death, you could summon the skeleton, I guess. You can skip it maybe. But then you have to like damage yourself twice, I guess that's what that is. You also get one experience unavoidable, and this has to be set up as a lasting effect. I'm assuming you have to do this too, but then again, the hexes might be full, so you can't. And this one will generate darkness. You can't avoid generating darkness, but sometimes you will be able to. Maybe. Okay. Okay, that's clear. I like that, because that was a question that came up a few times. I've seen that before. Where like, do I have to do this? Is this optional? Is this not optional? Well, there you go. That clears it up. I like that. More clarification. Great. So here, yeah, it says conditional experience elemental consumption. So yeah, you could grant one of your summons +1 attack to their attack, but then it's your choice if you want to consume the element to get this token. I forget what that one is already. Then you get one experience. So yeah, it's not forced. It's your choice to do it. I like that. Which is like what we knew before, but I like the way it's like more clear with the exclamation point. That's cool. All right, I'm down. I'm down. I love it. Love it. Character damage after ward or brittle is applied. Okay, whatever. I'm going to start skipping over this stuff. Some lost actions have this icon. If a character performs an action with this icon, when the card is placed in the lost pile, rotate it 180 degrees so that is upside down. This card cannot be recovered by any means until the end of the scenario. Oh, okay. So it's just a place to put it instead of saying like put it back in the box or, throw it in the garbage and get it later. Okay. It just protects those cards from being recycled. I like that. And that would break the game. Monster turns. Okay. Condition immunities. These are conditions that a monster of this type is prevented from gaining due to immunity. Okay. Yeah, that's similar to what was there before. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Immune to poison. Oh, that's poison symbol, isn't it? Am I missing chat stuff? Why am I not your friend? What is happening? I'm missing stuff in the chat. Sorry, I'm trying to go quicker because I'm like running out of time here. Sorry guys. Are you not my friend? Oh, sorry, I get it now. When I was talking about mercenaries and stuff. Yeah, no, you guys aren't my friends. We're coworkers. Yeah. When we play together. Sorry, Kate. Sorry, Cynthia. Yeah, I'm sorry. I get it. I get it. I mean the characters in the game. All right, relax. I get it. Kate, you're right. I don't like you guys. I don't like you. I love you. Oh, I'm just kidding. Awkward. All right. Dragon says you may not want to bring in that fire magic because the creature going next will use it. All right. Let's carry on here. Card name, a thematic name for the card. Okay, that's new. Great. Power shot. Psych up. Great. Appendix B provides a concise illustrated guide for how monsters take their turns. Okay, it better be concise and straightforward. Relearning how to control monster movement. It better be nice like Frosthaven's was. It felt like it was just easier. Hopefully it's like that was my real problem with Gloomhaven, was just never understanding monster movement fully. But that's partly on me, but not really when people are creating like tests on BGG to test people if they could understand monster movement correctly. Then you know it's a problem. When a monster performs ranged attacks on multiple targets, it moves to attack the most possible targets with the fewest possible disadvantage attacks while using the fewest possible movement points. Sure. Whoops. I'll skip over that stuff. Okay. Let's go. Don't care. Check the initiative value for the sets of all added monsters. Initiative value comes after the attacking figure's initiative value. Their initiative order token should be in its normal position. They will act in normal initiative order if their initiative value comes before the acting figure's initiative value. Move or insert the initiative value token after the acting figure's token. They will act next. When multiple new monster sets would act next, order their tokens based on initiative values. Yeah, so that's when like opening a door and all that kind of stuff, right? Placed named monster standees in red bases to identify them. Oh, red bases. Okay, cool. Bosses. Place boss standees in red bases to identify them. Woo! Frozen Fist boss stat card. Assuming he's like your first boss you meet. When a monster dies, remove its standee from the map, clear all tokens from its section of the stat sleeve, and place a loot token in the hex where it died. I love that you're not just dropping gold. I love this whole, like, make loot more interesting with the crafting and the hidden loot stuff, drawing from a loot deck. Yes. It's like my favorite thing so far. And the seasons. I'm very interested in the seasons thing, but I don't know much more about it yet. Even if it was summoned or spawned. Oh, okay, cool. So now you don't have to mark. We used to put like tokens underneath things that dropped gold and things that didn't based on summoning and spawning. And yeah, it was so confusing. I remember that being so annoying. Like forgetting to get gold, not getting gold. Yeah, that was like, oh, that was annoying. That was something we missed when we were like figuring out the game or playing. We just forget. That's nice. That's nice. I like that. Common scenario rules. We got linked hexes. Okay, cool. Linked hexes are considered adjacent for the purposes of movement. So it's like secret passages kind of thing. There's no line of sight between linked hexes, but figures can find focus through linked hexes. Interesting. I'll see that in a game. Oh, escaping. Certain scenarios require the party to escape. In these scenarios, certain hexes on the map are designated as escape hexes. Oh, we know this before. Yeah. If a character ends their turn on escape hex, they may escape. If the figure is then removed from the map, their figures then removed from the map along with their summon and tokens, escape characters can no longer participate in the scenario in any way, and they will then go home when they're done, and the rest of the players will play and have fun without them. Cool. They can then go take their washroom break before the next session. All right, cool. Oh, yeah, let's go to the other page. All right, ending a scenario. The base gold is shown on their loot cards. Whether the scenario was lost or completed, this amount is multiplied by the current conversion rate, which is based on the scenario level. All right. So depending on how the Frosthaven stock market is going, your gold may go up or down in value that you find in a scenario. Cool. All right. Lost scenario. Okay. You return to Frosthaven if you lose. You replay the scenario. Characters do not gain the resources from their loot cards, but all experience, gold, and treasure gained during the scenario is kept. The outpost phase does not occur. The party must then attempt the scenario again, but do not resolve a road event. Okay, so you could return to Frosthaven, but if you want to replay it, there's special... Okay. So return to Frosthaven, you gain the resources from the loot cards, and all experience, gold, treasure gained during the scenario is kept. The outpost phase occurs. So it's basically a return to Frosthaven, or just do it right now. Okay, that's neat. Sure, that's neat. I like that option. Yeah, sometimes you just lose and you're like, damn, if we just did this, we now know how to beat it. But sometimes you're like, man, our characters are not built for this scenario. Our party's not good for this scenario. Our cards we selected aren't good for this scenario. You know, let's just go back to Gloomhaven or Frosthaven or whatever. Let's just do something else. Let's try another scenario. Looted resources. When a scenario is unlocked, retrieve its sticker from the corresponding window of the scenario flowchart and affix it to the map board at the specified coordinates matching up the artwork. Gain inspiration equal to 4 minus the number of characters. Inspiration is tallied on the campaign sheet. When are we going to get to this inspiration on page 54? Completed scenarios can still be replayed during the same campaign. So you can grind them for, like, you know, leveling, finding loot, crafting materials. I'm assuming personal quests and stuff. Okay, link scenario stuff. Okay, cool. The adventure begins. Scenario 0 and 1. If you're new to the Gloomhaven system, play Scenario 0 now. This is a short, low-stakes scenario with minimal rewards and is meant to familiarize you with your characters and give you the chance to practice the rules you just learned. If you're already familiar with Gloomhaven system, you can skip 0 and go right into 1, the first official scenario of the campaign. Once you have completed Scenario 1, you're ready to read the rest of this rulebook and learn about the Outpost phase, which occurs between scenarios. There is no Outpost phase between 0 and 1. The remainder of this rulebook does not contain any blue text. From this point onward, all rules should be considered new to Frosthaven. That makes sense, because there was no outposts. Campaign overview. Stickers. Get all the loot, then escape. Yeah, Brett, there's certain rules they applied to Gloomhaven Digital to kind of improve the game that I learned from Frosthaven and stuff. So I would, if you're playing Gloomhaven now, I would use things like the summon rule, the line of sight stuff. I would just start using some of those like nice things that they've added to Frosthaven or Jaws the Lion or even Gloomhaven Digital. Like look into some of those variants, and yeah, I would apply them to my game if I was going back and playing Gloomhaven from scratch for the first time or whatever. I would do that. But that is totally up to you, of course. What the heck is this? Scenario flowchart? Oh, man, we're doing flowcharts now? What is this? What the hell is this? During the campaign, some unlocked scenarios might become locked out, which means they are no longer available. When this happens, affix a red lockout sticker, to the corresponding section of the flowchart. So I like this for visually, like, man, when you're playing Gloomhaven, you're like, I remember until we got printouts from BGG, it was hard to figure out, like, we were putting stickers in the book, like little tabs coming out of the scenario book for Gloomhaven, trying to figure out, like, what we're locked out of, what is next, what are our next 3 scenarios for next week that we're going to play or whatever. It was always so confusing, like so much work, but this is kind of neat. I'm still confused looking at it. Like what to play next? Guys, what do you want to play next? Let's look at our flowchart. Oh my god. What the hell? But hopefully that works. Building your deck. Oh, sorry, building decks. So you can go out in your backyard and build a deck in this game. Building deck. Just kidding. All right. The building deck contains a card for every interactable building that currently exists in Frosthaven. The starting building deck consists of Barracks level 1, Craftsman level 1, Alchemist level 1, and Workshop level 1. So we get 4 buildings to choose from. At the start of the campaign, apply any one-time effects indicated on these cards. Collectively buy up to 1 hide for 2 gold each. So it's a little crafting minigame here. The cards in the building deck should always be arranged in sequential order based on their reference numbers. If any building has multiple levels, only the card corresponding to its current level should be in the deck. Each card has a normal side and a wreck side. When the status of the building changes, its card is flipped accordingly. All building cards not in the building deck should remain separate or stored in the original envelopes. A building card has the following: a name and level, reference number, building effect, available interactions, upgrade cost, repair cost. So your buildings can get destroyed. That's cool. And you got to repair them. One-time effects, wrecked building effects, unavailable interactions, and a rebuild cost. Cool. I wonder how long game night's going to be now with like all this cool stuff they're adding in the Outpost phase. Like some scenarios take a long time, right? Now you're doing all this stuff, which I like this stuff. But as we found in Sword and Sorcery with the journey phase, sometimes it would be a long scenario and then it's like, I'm not really feeling going through the journey phase right now. I'm kind of done. Let's do that next week. And then like it just expands the game time for an already like long gaming session. But I mean, that's okay. It's cool that they added it. I like it. Yeah. Hopefully it's not as crazy as I'm thinking, but. Masteries? Masteries? Attack at least 3 enemies with each of the 3 different area of effect attack abilities. Masteries? I am down. That's new, right? I feel like that's new. That's cool. Got a campaign sheet. Town guard perks. You get that when building 90 is built. Okay. Retirement table. Campaign sheet. Oh, cool. Okay. So you got stuff in your Frosthaven supply. So that's shared amongst characters kind of thing as the group. Inspiration, total defense. Man, I need to know this stuff. Inspiration value. Okay, let's see here. Okay, the party has a single campaign sheet that tracks a variety of information related to the campaign. The pad contains multiple sheets in case they are needed for any reason, but only one campaign can be in progress at a given time. The campaign sheet has the following. Your campaign calendar. This tracks the passage of time measured in weeks. When a party returns to Frosthaven after a scenario, mark the box. You might also be instructed to mark the next box at other times in the campaign. Marking these boxes can have various effects. There are 10 weeks per season, and 2 seasons, summer and winter, per year. The campaign lasts longer than 4 years. Use a new campaign sheet to continue tracking the passage of time. Wow. That's crazy to hear it, to talk about the game time like that. Years and seasons and weeks. Okay, cool. Wow. Frosthaven supply. This tracks the party's resources. Any materials, resources here can be used to pay for various costs for buildings. Okay. And you can use them to pay for collective costs for scenarios or events. Anytime a character can move resources from personal supplies to Frosthaven supply, but they cannot move resources from Frosthaven back to their personal supplies. So you can donate stuff to the Frosthaven supplies, but you can't take stuff back. Inspiration value. This marks the party's current inspiration. When the party receives inspiration, adjust this value accordingly. When the party completes a scenario, they gain inspiration equal to 4 minus the number of characters. The party can spend any amount of inspiration in place of an equal number of material resources. Oh, so it's just like a wild when paying various costs for buildings. Characters can spend 15 inspiration when retiring to complete an additional personal quest. Well, I'm inspired. Total defense value. This marks Frosthaven's current defense value. It's mainly for reference when resolving attacks. Okay. Okay. Soldiers, these can be spent during an attack event to improve the chances of success on any defense check. When the party gains or loses X soldiers, mark or erase X circles accordingly. The maximum number of soldiers in the party can have is limited by the current level of the barracks. Morale track. This marks Frosthaven's current morale. Certain event outcomes have a morale requirement, and Frosthaven's total defense is affected by the modifier indicated next to the current morale. When the party receives plus X morale, adjust this track accordingly. The party can lose 1 morale, perform a repair instead of spending resources, and they can lose 2 morale to perform an extra build or upgrade. The morale track has a minimum value of 0 and a maximum of 20. If it's ever reached, read the indicated section from the section book. The party's starting morale is determined at the end of scenario 1. So just like donating or, you know, hitting a max or unlocking a character in the first Gloomhaven from your, you know, that kind of stuff. It happens here. That's cool. Campaign stickers, prosperity track. This marks Frosthaven's current prosperity. Prosperity level determines the maximum starting level for new characters and the maximum level for building upgrades. When the party receives plus X prosperity, mark the next X boxes. Each time a numbered box is marked, the prosperity level increases. When the party loses prosperity, erase. Okay, sure, that's obvious. Okay, cool. Resources. Okay. There are 3 material resources. Lumber, metal, hide. There's 6 herb resources. We read those already earlier. I'll skip through some of that stuff. Town Guard deck. Start of the campaign, the Town Guard deck is a standard 20-card deck with the following composition. Look at this. As the Town Guard gains perk marks, the party gains various other bonuses during the campaign. Cards will be added or removed from the Town Guard deck. Each card in the deck is a unique reference number. Cards are drawn from the Town Guard deck when resolving attack events, much like how attack modifier cards are drawn when resolving attacks. Oh, that's neat. You got Wreck and Success. Those are like your ×2 and your null. -20. What is this? This is cool. Unlocking new buildings. Okay. Okay, so you get them out of sealed envelopes. Okay, cool. More stuff to discover. Unlocking new classes. So there is 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 classes hidden. So 17 total in the game. I don't know if that's more or less than Gloomhaven. We'll find out in a sec. Because in a minute, I'm going to skip to that comparison chart, and we'll just quickly look at what's left. I'm going to scrub through some of this stuff. I don't have time. I have like probably like 10 more minutes. You know, so I'm going to just kind of skim through some of this stuff. Obviously, as we get the game to the channel, when it arrives, we'll play it. We'll go through all these rules in depth. We'll figure it out. We'll show you how the game works, all that kind of stuff. I'll explain more of this in our first playthrough stream or whatever, but... Or I guess not our first stream, because maybe we're not doing the building phase the first stream. We'll probably play scenario 0 to start, just to, you know, kind of walk through and explain some of the stuff about the game. And then the next one, play 1. And then maybe do the Outpost phase in the second one. But yeah. So Outpost phase involves spending time in Frosthaven to resolve events. So just like Sword and Sorcery, that's crazy. So we're doing the same kind of thing. Frosthaven, to resolve events, acquire new items and abilities, interact with buildings. Each Outpost phase consists of 5 distinct steps. Passage of time, Outpost event, building operations, downtime, and construction. Passage of time. At the start of the Outpost phase, time passes. Marks the next unmarked box on the calendar to signify that 1 week has passed. Yeah, the time is definitely more serious in this one. Not just little tokens. Sounds like a 24-hour stream. Yeah. Yeah, we could just do a super long first stream. Play through 0, 1, and the first Outpost thing. Yeah, that would be... Yeah, we could do like a super epic, like long weekend, first weekend thing with this game and just like dive in live, just go crazy with it. Cool. Outpost events. So this is like city events. Attack events. Ooh. Ooh, get some attacks happening. Okay. Defense checks. Yeah, you check for your defense when an attack happens. Damaged buildings, wreck buildings. Okay, cool. Building operations. Oh, there's another sticker. Downtimes when you level up, retire a character, create a character, craft items, brew potions, sell items. Get a little Zelda Breath of the Wild stuff going on here. Leveling up. Okay. Yeah, I could do an unboxing video, Kevin. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, we could do like a live unboxing for fun. Yeah. Why not? Although it's like, you know, a lot of hidden boxes and stuff. But I mean, I'm obviously not going to open that stuff on the unboxing. But then it's like I got to be careful. Like I don't want to spoil like item cards and things. It's like the game is so full of like spoilery stuff, and people take it very serious. So I'm not sure I'd want to do that just so I don't accidentally spoil anything. Because it's like I'm not editing it, right? So it's like it's happening live. I don't want to go through things. I know people can tune away if like I accidentally like start going through a card deck and but I mean we could look at the starting classes and spread them out and kind of look through them in an unboxing. That would be neat. But yeah, we try to like stay but most of that stuff should all be hidden in envelopes and things that say don't look at this yet, but like we can look at starting items but not like I don't want to see any item designs, nothing. I don't want to know any of that stuff. I don't want anyone to accidentally see it on my stream before they should, right? So we know about perks and leveling up stuff. Whoops. Retiring a character. Okay. Like, we don't need to worry about any of this stuff right now. Creating a character. Crafting items. I mean, it's kind of straightforward, right? You have enough stuff, you spend the stuff to craft. Selling items. Purchase items. Okay. Brew potions. Alchemist levels. Yeah, maybe I can read through this stuff later on a different stream. I don't know. Game variants, casual mode, solo mode, crossover classes, open information. Oh, there you go. With this variant, parties who want fewer restrictions can share exactly which cards they have in hand and discuss specific details about their plans during card selection, which is normally disallowed by the limits on communication. This is not the recommended way to play the game, but some parties may prefer this playstyle because playing with open information reduces uncertainty and makes coordination easier. Increase the difficulty by calculating the scenario level as you would for solo mode. Yeah, maybe we play that way. I don't know. Like I'm not sure like how to play the game. Cuz that sounds more like how I'd play on stream. But then you got to bump up the difficulty, which is like yeah, that yeah, we can try that out. Maybe reduce randomness, yep, temporary enhancements. Random quest setups, yeah, they have that stuff, yeah. Permanent death. No, we're not going to do that variant. What's this? Is this a blank page or not loading? Not loading. Yeah, those people shouldn't be watching the live stream. But I don't want stuff spoiled for me either, right? I just try to be respectable. Okay, the appendix with what's in the box. Look at all these cards and goodies. Oh boy. How am I going to store all that stuff? I guess they're buying plano boxes or whatever now. Oh man. Appendix, important reminders. Okay. What else in here? Perform monster. Oh, this is the monster ability stuff. Okay, cool. This is like the little concise, like, how do monsters move? Finding focus. Yeah. That's like the Jaws of the Lion stuff. Important reminders. Like, I like the way it's just clear. A quick reference. Oh, I like it. A nice quick reference. I like it. What to do when a scenario's lost. Just a nice reminder. You don't have to go find it in the rule book. You don't need to go find a BGG checklist on what you need to do after a scenario ends. You don't miss something. I like this. Good job. Good job. More references, the better. That's it. We got this one. Sorry. Enhancement costs. Okay. Buying enhancement sticker stuff. They still have that. That's good. All right, let's look at the little table here. A little blurry, but the link for this is down below. This was done by someone on BGG. And this, I'm assuming, will help us. See if I can. It's a little... The resolution on this thing is not the greatest. Yeah, I'm like... I don't know. Okay, yeah, it's a little blurry. That's weird. It's just like an image, but they made it like a very not good quality image. I guess maybe on a phone it's fine, but like stretching it out, it's... Yeah. Okay. This person doesn't have a big monitor, that's for sure. All right. So this if you want to look at this again, links down in the video description. But just quickly want to look at this stuff here. So it compares Gloomhaven to Jaws the Lion to Frosthaven. So line of sight has some little notes beside it here. Event cards trigger based on travel. So event cards trigger based on travel. Event cards trigger based on successful scenario. And then event cards trigger based on travel. Okay. 2 battle goals dealt, choose one. 2 battle goals dealt, choose one. 3 battle goals dealt, choose one. So what is it? Green here. Let's see. This is unofficial content. Summary of rules differences, not for listing new features. So yellow or orange here is like a Gloomhaven rule. Purple is a Jaws the Lion rule. Frosthaven is a blue rule. And green are shared rules. My personal opinion, play as you enjoy it. Use Jaws the Lion rules for Jaws of the Lion. Frosthaven rules otherwise. Yeah, so that's what Brett was just talking about earlier, right? Using the rules for Frosthaven to play Gloomhaven. Like, you know, the stuff that applies, obviously. Mark the larger impact differences with red stars. Okay. Hazardous terrain damage is different. Okay. All enemies drop loot on death. That's cool. I like that change. That was good. We read that one. Monster loot action picks up chests as well. Does that in Jaws the Lion? I didn't know that. Doesn't do that in Gloomhaven. Doesn't do it in Jaws the Lion or Frosthaven. A just looted item in Frosthaven is gained immediately. Does not count towards the item limit for the scenario. If you already had one, you can give it to someone else or sell it. I love that. I love that one. Oh, in Gloomhaven, the price is rounded down when selling an item, but in Jaws and Frosthaven, it's rounded up. And yeah, push and pull effects are up to the number of value listed, just like Jaws the Lion. That's cool. I like that. It's more friendly. Let's see. Select target focusing, proximity tiebreaker before initiative order. Okay, whatever. Selecting extra targets, no disadvantage rule, just for the focus. Okay. And jumping on difficult terrain, costs 1. Okay. Moving through invisible enemies may pass through them without stopping. I like that. No focus for a summon, may focus summoner. Handling rolling modifiers when in advantage. Okay. Disadvantage. Yeah, that's different. They just didn't put rolling modifiers in Jaws the Lion to keep it more straightforward, right? Better card when in advantage. Actor's choice. Better card or first card if ambiguous. Worst card is, or worst first card if ambiguous. Ranged monsters attack ability without range. Ranged monsters attack ability without range is a melee attack. Monster has to use an ability to affect elements. Okay. I don't know what that means. But anyways, this is a nice little way to summarize what's different if you didn't want to watch the whole stream or look it up or whatever. But that's cool. It's a good way to break it down. Again, on BGG or linked down in the video description. See what you guys are saying in the chat. Permadeath is hardcore rules. Yeah, I saw that before. I remember this in the first one, I think, right? Quick references are the best. Agree, especially for a game like this. Yeah, Dragon says in the future, this happened here in Canada too. And Gloomhaven was delivering, trying to look up Plano boxes, like, was so annoying at that time because you know people are going out and buying them to store it for sure. All these stores are like, why is everyone buying fishing tackle boxes, you know, off season all of a sudden? Yeah, the summons guys move different. Dragon, kind of like in Jaws of the Lion, they did that. I think that was the thing, and it's also in Gloomhaven Digital. It's an option you can enable it to work that way, which we've done playing, which is cool. Anyways, I'm gonna be back streaming in like 10 minutes, or less. I just gotta go grab a quick bite, and then we're playing some Gloomhaven Digital next on the channel. So, if you just stick around on the stream, when this stream ends, it'll kick you over to that stream, and you can come hang out with us as we play some 4-player Gloomhaven Digital on the channel. If you're looking for more Frosthaven in the future, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We'll be playing Gloomhaven Digital going forward. Maybe checking out some Gloomhaven, or sorry, Jaws of the Lion Digital when that releases. Trying some of that out, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. But definitely playing Frosthaven when that hits. We're all in. We played Gloomhaven, Gloomhaven Digital, Jaws of the Lion, all that stuff on the channel. You can check the video description for links on all that stuff. Again, thank you everyone supporting the channel. Thanks to our new subscribers today. When's it delivering? I don't know. It's going to print soon. Frosthaven's a few months out, I would assume, before it delivers. I think it's like summertime. We're going to see it in like June, July, August, somewhere around there. So yeah, stick around to the channel. Frosthaven, we'll be playing it when it comes up. Anyways, thanks a lot for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next stream. Bye-bye.